We have all heard the saying, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Now, some take that more literally than others, of course, and Darlo Mulder is one of the guys that's charged with catching those that do. In this week's My Place Hotels Inside Track, Jason Andera explains the motivations of a guy that's just looking to keep things fair.
Darlo Mulder has a lot of competition in his own household for most exciting motorsports story. His son is on a NASCAR pit crew, and his wife Laura was the first female feature winner at 5 area racetracks. While Darlo's story may be the least exciting, it might be the most interesting. He's the technical director for the USMTS and the USRA. It's a big job, but one that Darlo is perfectly suited for.
Well, it goes way back to when I was a kid. I had an uncle that raced sprint cars, and then my dad was on the pit crew, so that's what we did every weekend. We went to the races. That's how I got hooked on it. I was a big fan of it. Really wasn't involved in it until I was in my low to mid-20s. Had someone approach me about building a motor, and it became on the pit crew. Well, that evolved into me driving. I realized real quick I wasn't a driver, so my interest was the car. My interest was the technical side of the race car. I just love building them. I love trying to figure them out, make them go fast, make them go left. And when it got to be where that was almost too much work, well, teching's kind of the same thing. I love the technical side of it, and now I'm just trying to keep on top of racers that are trying to outthink the rule book.
So what does a technical director do?
My role is I'm in charge of the rules. I'm in charge of writing the rules, interpreting the rules, and enforcing the rules.
Darlo travels with the USMTS Tour and techs for all their competitions, as well as marquee events for the USRA.
I'm the guy they come to and ask, and I have to be smart enough to answer them on cue.
As long as there has been racing, there have been teams trying to push the envelope.
And of course, there's guys that push it too far, and then there's guys that just blatantly cheat, like, I'm gonna put a bigger motor in because I can go faster and see if he ever catches me, but it's the gray area stuff that makes it interesting, because it's like they'll do something, you're like, oh yeah, I never thought of that, and I guess we don't address that in our rule book, so then that's where the notes come in, and the next year we clarify a little bit. And so that's what makes it really, really challenging, because I'm trying to be as smart as some very smart people out there that are building and setting up these race cars. So
Darlo isn't always the favorite person on the track, but he's been able to build up some thick skin and treat everyone equally. He remembers the first time that he had to disqualify a driver.
The very first night I teched. And it was interesting because I was in charge of 2 classes. They had a B-Mod class, which wasn't sanctioned, and a bomber class. The B-Mods are a 2-link solid pull bar suspension. This guy come in with a 4-link spring-loaded pull bar in a B-Mod. And I'm looking at it, and I look at the other tech guys like, what do I do? And they're like, it's your class, you decide, I'm like, it seems so simple now. Well, of course that's a disqualification, but at the time you're like, I don't know what to do here, But I did disqualify him, and it was, of course, justified. But yeah, that's how this all started. The very first night I was like in that scenario where I had to make that decision, and I, of course, made the right one, but that was pretty obvious. But you learn from that, and you just learn how to be better and better at what you do every week, and here I am. So,
luckily for the race community, Darlo loves his job, and they love him.
And that's what I enjoy about it. And I didn't know if I'd like it or not, but I did it, and I absolutely loved it. So.